time to dig deep into a different footballing era. We're going back to the mid-1980s and a classic match against bitter rivals Liverpool. Bob Paisley is coming towards the end of his reign on Merseyside. United are going pretty well in the league and the cup, but how will they fare against the likes of Rush, Dalglish and Souness? It's the Football League Files. The year is 1983.
Stapleton. Here's Moses. It's reaching Grimes. Manchester United lead. Ashley Grimes. And a goal by Kevin Moore. Stapleton. Oh! He looked this way and that, and finally opted for a really ambitious chip. And Nick Mills, and they got right side. Steve McCall got caught, and McQueen again, and Gordon McQueen scores. What a brilliant finish by Frank Stapleton. Now Whiteside, and now Duxbury. Yes! On Whiteside. From Counts, this is Stapleton. What a beautiful goal by Frank Stapleton. And it's let in Muren. And here's Whiteside. Chilton came off his line, went back, and is made to pick it out of the net. Whiteside battling. And Robson. What a goal from Brian Robson.
Some of them want to use you. Some of them want to get used by.
And Stapleton got there. Chested down by Robson for Koppel. Then Whiteside. Robson wants it early. Brilliant goal. Whiteside. Oh, what a good turn. Oh, he left his weight there. Stapleton. And can Koppel drive one? What a goal! What a goal by Steve Koppel.
So then United enjoying a great FA Cup run and pushing hard for that elusive league title as well. I'm delighted to be joined by two men who worked very, very hard throughout that season. They made 111 appearances between them. Arthur Orbiston and Norman Whiteside. Welcome to the Football League Files, both. Just remind me how old you were.
Well, I was quite young. Actually, that season I was 17. So I got in the team at 16 years old, but obviously my 17th birthday was in May, and then so the following season I was, 17 years old.
And he was a bit of a slacker, wasn't he? He only played 55 times compared to your 56.
Yeah, that's a bit slack for his first season, isn't it? Yeah. But obviously you've got to have a lot of luck and fate dealing your good hand injury-wise, so we're both fortunate to stay injury-free that season. That
was a very special month for you, wasn't it? February 1983?
It was, yeah. My second son was born on February the 8th, I think it was.
Get it right.
Better get this right. I'll get into trouble if I've got that wrong. And this game was 2 or 3 weeks later, so I had a few sleepless nights. So that's my excuses in for a few bad passes that's probably going to come up.
And just was there any question at all of Ron Atkinson saying to you, just sit this one out, Norman, you're only a baby, we want to look after you a bit?
No, I think, I wanted the position, and everybody just wants to play football. Certainly when you're 17. You just can't wait for the next game. So a Big Ron just treated me the right way, I thought, and he treated me like a man, even though I was probably just a boy.
How was he to work for, Big Ron?
Yeah, he was superb. The one thing I liked about Ron, talking about all those years ago, was he didn't mind what you did off the field. He was happy with 3 o'clock on a Saturday. He just wanted you to do the business, so he wasn't interested in what occurred off the field. Just he was more interested in what happened on the field.
One fellow who did the business that season, Frank Stapleton, I think he finished with 19 goals. He had a very, very good time in that red shirt.
Yeah, Frank obviously came from Arsenal for a lot of money, but fantastic guy for players at the back to hit. He could make a bad ball look good by getting up and sort of controlling it. And a fantastic season for him, goal scoring wise as well.
Just both of you sum it up. United versus Liverpool.
Well, that's a game that everybody looked forward to. I think even now, both sets of fans look forward to that fixture. And we had some decent results over at Anfield, and they turned us over here a couple of times when I was playing, getting results here at Old Trafford. But that was a game that you felt the edge. You knew the supporters were on edge as well, and it was fantastic games to play in and great atmosphere.
A monster fixture for you as well, Norman?
Yeah, I used to relish. I mean, apart from the cop hating me, but I used to relish playing against Liverpool. And you know, Arthur's right. The players look when the fixtures come out. The biggest fixture is always the Liverpool one. I know now Manchester City is probably a big fixture these days, but in those days Liverpool United were massive.
There we are, an indication of what it meant when United played Liverpool. That's an indication of what was happening on the pitch. What else, though, was going on in 1983?
United were firm favourites going into the game, and you know, Brighton in a division lower than the United, weren't there? And yeah, I remember that chance in the last minute.
Smith must score. Unbelievable.
When Gordon Smith was going through, I actually thought, oh, United are going to lose this. And Gary Bailey actually saved it with his legs. It's Smith, and Bailey saved! I was there and played in the quarter-final against Norwich at the Goldstone ground, beat them 1-0. And then after that, I moved to Leeds. And I remember thinking that could have been me. I'd have scored it, mind. I wouldn't have missed it, but that could have been me. You know, and I felt for him because he was one of my teammates 3-4 weeks ago. I think they murdered Brighton 4 in the replay, or something like that.
I think United won that one 4-0, so I do remember it very well. And you know, I think he got a lot of stick after that for missing the chance to win Brighton the FA Cup. So it'd have been tough for him.
I remember a Cabbage Patch doll. I didn't have one because, you know, I was a very masculine child, you know. I had Cindy.
I got about these fads, right? How can people be so consumed about something just for that short period of time, and then a year later people go, what was all that about?
I couldn't see the point of them, to be quite honest with you. Not that I had a lot of dolls growing up in my household anyway, maybe a couple of Action Men, but Cabbage Patch dolls, no, didn't quite get me.
I can remember the Ferrari in and around all the stores, you know, first seeing the pictures in the stores in America, and then when they arrived here, the same ugly little things, but I didn't quite get it. I didn't have kids then.
The idea was the Cabbage Patch dolls were all individual, but every one of them looked like a bit of a fat kid who's had its mouth sewn up.
I do remember them, yeah. It was a massive, massive craze. I remember everybody trying to get them, the shops had run out of them. Yeah, crazy, you know, it was amazing. Everybody wanted one.
I can remember, again I was a journalist, and I can remember we were having to cover these kids and families who were just going to such ridiculous lengths to get their hands on a bloody Cabbage Patch doll.
It was about that big. I remember it. It was literally about that size and that thick, and it had a little aerial on the top with a yellow cap on top of it. Yeah, I mean, amazing again how they've come on. But yeah, I did have one, yeah.
I certainly couldn't afford it, and I couldn't afford to have a sack to carry it around either, probably.
A friend of mine had one where the battery was so big, he had a strap and he had it over his shoulder. Unless it was like a blooming handbag, you know, it was a huge, great thing.
The first mobile phone I had was probably 10 years after they came out. I couldn't carry them until then. They were too big for me.
My first mobile phone, it was covering this rally up in Yorkshire, and I can remember there was a media bus, and we all piled off the bus, and there were people coming out of their houses not to go to the rally but to see these us lot on these phones stretching out of briefcases, and people go, wow, what is all that about? And if you think about it now, if you went back to those same people today, they'll all be on their iPhones and smartphones and all the rest of it. But so again, it just underlines just how quickly all that has changed.
We probably communicate more now, but in a very distant way. It's like a Twitter and things like that. I mean, I will meet people on the street and continue a conversation I've had with them on Twitter. It's just bizarre, isn't it? It's
You can't hurry love, no, you just got to wait.
Phil Collins, you can't hurry love, you know. Well, you can, Phil. You can. You get to a certain age and you haven't even got a choice. You are hurrying love without whether you like it or not.
That was 1983. That was, now fellas, the Austin Metro was the most popular car around. Give us a little insight into your club cars or your personal car. Go on, Norman, you go first.
Well, in Diggs, my landlady had a little Datsun that I borrowed when I passed my test. So I left it a couple of days before I went knocking on the manager's door. Excuse me. And I asked for a company car. And Big Ron was delighted. He said, of course you can have a company car. Just put another 2 years on your contract, son. And he didn't give me a pay rise. So mine was a Capri, a Ford Capri 1.6 GL. So it was very
Pretty
nice.
racy in those days, the old Sweeney and all that, wasn't it? The Capris, they used to dash around in those, didn't they?
It was the in car to get, and especially for a kid at 17, it was, you know, I thought it was the bee's knees at the time.
Okay, he was the bee's knees. He had the in car. How about you?
I'm just trying to think. I think I had a white Ford Cortina or something like that. But rather than get a more expensive car, being typically Scottish, I tried to get two cars that were like half the value you take. So I think we had a black Ford whatever, but I was driving a white Cortina, I think it was called.
Was it similar then? I mean, did the footballers' cars, did people look open-mouthed as you drove past, as they do now, by the way, or would you just run-of-the-mill motors?
No, nobody batted an eyelid when you were stuck at any traffic lights. I think nowadays some of the lads might have a problem, but no, nowadays it was different, yeah.
And staying on the motoring theme, seat belts were introduced in that year. Now I can remember people were a bit cavalier about those.
Was that the
things to start
clunk-click
with.
one? Clunk-click every
Clunk
trip?
click every trip,
Yeah,
wasn't
I
it?
always remember that. It
Yeah.
sticks for some reason, doesn't it?
Well done, Norman, well done. Did you wear them as a matter of course, or did it take a little bit while for the habit to sort of
I think that
drop in?
advertisement campaign must have worked well because I always used it. Definitely, it just stuck with me.
And you, from the
Same
word
thing.
go?
Same thing, yeah. It's
Two
weird,
very
that,
sensible
isn't it? Yeah.
human beings, by the
Yeah,
way.
exactly, yeah.
Sometimes, Jim.
And listen, a great goalkeeper who you've seen once or twice on the Football League files, reached a landmark. Pat Jennings, first to reach 1,000 appearances. You'd have played with Pat, you knew him well.
Yeah, Pat was, you know, people often ask me the question when I'm out and about doing sportsman's dinners that, you know, who's the best player and stuff. For me, international-wise, obviously Pat Jennings. I think at Arsenal they called him God in the dressing room, but what an achievement to get 1,000, you know, first-class games.
He was brilliant using his feet as well, a bit ahead of his time, wasn't he? To stop a load with his feet, didn't he?
He did, yeah. He used every part of his body, but he had nominal tail. He's got massive hands. He played against us in the '79 Cup final, and I thought the first half, I think we were 2-0 down, but we didn't play that badly, but everything hit him. He just seemed to stick with him all the time. He made sort of shots look easy to save because he had massive hands.
I was with him at the charity do only last week, actually. You shake hands with him, and these little things like disappear in there, don't they? Massive hands, which came in handy.
And he's still got the same haircut about.
He has still got.
You don't see those ears.
And the same voice, Big Pat, as well. There we go. No Pat Jennings coming up, but great action. First against second, United against Liverpool. Don't go away. Hello again from the Football League files. It is February. Norman in just a moment after we have enjoyed the match. Liverpool, the league leaders, against Manchester United right here at Old Trafford. Your commentator's Martin Tyler.
For Ray Wilkins, the wheel of fortune has turned full circle. Through Brian Robson's mishap, Wilkins is now reinstated in Manchester United's midfield and as captain after losing both positions through injury himself. And another former England captain is brought in from the cold, Phil Thompson, who's missed Liverpool's last 15 games. Thompson owes his return after ankle trouble to Alan Hansen's thigh strain. David Hodgson is dropped to substitute. Kenny Dalglish will play further forward. And there's a recall for Craig Johnston, who scored Liverpool's winning goal here last April. The loss of Robson means Ron Atkinson's first team change of 1983 after 11 unaltered lineups. With the reintroduction of Wilkins, Lou Macari resumes his vigil as substitute. This is the 100th league meeting between Manchester United and Liverpool, fittingly with the clubs now as the Football League's two superpowers. And the bottom line today is that United must win to stop Liverpool disappearing over the horizon in the Championship marathon. Liverpool in their change strip of all yellow, and Ian Rush is caught offside. United's throw. Movement coming from Whiteside. Free kick taken quickly by Muren. Souness reading the intentions of Duxbury, who can try again. Wilkins has got forward. This is Koppel. And Moses. Well, the deflections nearly unsettled Grobbelaar. It had to be a snapshot from Remy Moses. The ball came to him very quickly indeed. Koppel causing the problems first of all, and then Moses, it struck Liverpool players and the goalkeeper, and it ended as a corner, half cleared by Neil. Dalglish, good determination from Wilkins, in from Muren, the head of Lawrenson, and the hand of Johnston right on the edge of the area. Liverpool slightly protesting, but Ken Redfern was right on the spot. Johnston continuing the protest. Frantic 18 minutes played. Moran is involved in the wall for Manchester United. Here's Muren. And Liverpool are out quickly, maybe too quickly. And United will be given a second chance. So Liverpool unhappy about the original award of the free kick, unhappy again about the referee allowing it to be retaken. And this time Manchester United look to vary the ploy. But Muren curls it, it needed the save. An acrobatic one it was from Grobbelaar. It was dropping in just under the bar. The in-swinger from Muren, and well played Grobbelaar. Johnston. Kennedy can settle here. Whelan, I think, thought the pass was aimed for him. It was aimed, in fact, for Rush. And then Whelan is stopped by Duxbury. Duxbury diving in. Neil having to do the same against Orbiston. And Liverpool, for a second, had an extra man. Orbiston has now recovered. Here's Neil. And Steve Koppel was close to Phil Neal as he had the shot. At times, at Anfield particularly, Manchester United have used Koppel on Neil's side of the field to prevent the Liverpool right-back joining in attacks. Nicely played by Duxbury in Koppel's direction. This is Whiteside. Koppel gets the cross in. Muren! Well, he almost hit it too cleanly. It may well be that there was an offside decision as well, but it embedded into the midriff of Grobbelaar from Muren's shot. Johnston with the header. Now Rush. And it might drop for Whelan. That fell just behind him. Duxbury's attempted forward pass fell straight for Kennedy, who then presented it to Orbiston. Nicely laid off by Stapleton. Wilkins took just too long. And Johnston responding with energy. Has help here from Neil. And now Souness. Lee. For Dalglish. And Wilkins, who was the player who'd lost possession originally, won it back for United. And Thompson came in late to flatten Whiteside. And Ken Redfern wants a word with Phil Thompson. But before Manchester United can take the free kick, Kevin Moran requires more treatment. This time it's not the cut that's worrying him, it's the right knee. The readjustments passed on to Ray Wilkins. So Kevin Moran is wheeled away. Lou Macari, who's been substitute for Manchester United 24 times this season. This is only the 6th time that he's come on, and the first time since November. And in the reorganisation, Duxbury lining up alongside McQueen. Whelan. And for the moment, at least, it seems that Lou Macari is playing it right back. And Dalglish. Liverpool almost adding insult to Manchester United to their injuries. Macari, certainly a defensive responsibility for him. McQueen. Macari's pass, nicely judged for Moses and Stapleton. Moses again. Muren, the goal is open, and Muren finds it. And Manchester United turn misfortune to their advantage because Lou Macari, who goes across there to congratulate the scorer, started it all off with a perceptive pass from his right-back position that found the run of Moses. It looked as though Stapleton had missed the chance, but Moses followed it up, and then Muren took aim and fired it into the top of the net. Ten minutes of the first half remaining, and Lou Macari comes off the bench to good effect. Souness. Orbiston. United winning more of the 50-50 balls now. Ahead of Arthur Orbiston, the play has been stopped for offside, which is a tactic that Liverpool use well. Kennedy. Rush, Johnston, Dalglish, and Liverpool a level. Clinically done. United held the advantage for 4 minutes. Rush with the first touch, and what a good ball played by Craig Johnston for Dalglish to finish so decisively. Been said so often about Liverpool that they're never more dangerous when the odds look to be stacked against them. McQueen. Stapleton was the target. Coped with Orbiston's pass. Orbiston again. Now Whiteside. And it was Orbiston been involved on 2 previous occasions in the move. Thrown across to the far post that stretched Liverpool. There was no one arriving for United. Here's Whiteside. Now Moses. Liverpool filled the gap with numbers. Well, Liverpool and Manchester United are locking horns here in a splendid battle. Arnold Muren giving Manchester United the lead 10 minutes before half-time after their plans had been disrupted again by injury, this time to Kevin Moran. And Kenny Dalglish, 4 minutes later, providing Liverpool's equaliser. At half-time at Old Trafford, it's Manchester United 1, Liverpool 1.
One apiece at half-time then, Kenny Dalglish being very obliging to that young autograph hunter. Who is going to sign their name on this match? We'll be back for the second half. It's the Football League Files. It is February 1983. We're at Old Trafford. Liverpool, the league leaders, against Manchester United. One apiece at half-time, beautifully poised. Here's the second half.
Liverpool playing today under the scrutiny of a Polish camera. The tape of this game to be studied by Widzew Łódź, Liverpool's opponents in the European Cup quarter-final in Poland next Wednesday. Ian Rush accidentally responsible for Kevin Moran's 9 stitches in a grotesquely gashed shin, but Moran in fact bringing about his own downfall by not wearing any shin pads. United attacking the Stretford end in the second half. Liverpool, the last team to win at Old Trafford. 1-0 in the First Division here last April, on a night when Manchester United missed a penalty. Alveston gets past Neil. Whiteside's gone to the near post. It might reach him. Did arrive a little behind Norman Whiteside, which prevented him getting any real power as he swung the left leg. Whiteside goes down. The free kick is given to Whiteside's satisfaction. And again, Ken Redfern wants Liverpool back the full distance, noticeably Lee, who was attacking the ball. McQueen, Thompson did his job. McQueen complaining that he was balked as he made his run. I'm sure he was too. Muren. Manchester United have certainly got to take a gamble or two in their approach to the second half. And through pressure from Whiteside, they have another corner. McQueen this time poised to make a run from the edge of the area. In he goes. It was Thompson who cleared the day. Wilkins. Macari. Grobbelaar enjoying the chance to show his sheer athleticism. He did have a good look, it seemed, at Macari's volley and made a spectacular catch. And Bailey in trouble and out of his area. The hand wasn't used. Dalglish causing Bailey more problems by lying on the ground as Bailey tried to recapture his position. Gary Bailey, his own momentum took him outside the area. The referee was right on the spot and felt that no arm was used. Well, this meeting has attracted the biggest league crowd of the season, 57,397. Souness. Gives it away to Stapleton. Can Manchester United capitalise with Whiteside? Grobbelaar denies them. Whiteside feels that he had to dive in at the loose ball. Grobbelaar accepts that. Of all people, it was Graham Souness who presented the ball to Frank Stapleton. But look how Grobbelaar refused to commit himself here. Kept his shape and Whiteside drilled the ball straight at him. Whelan is inside Kennedy. Wilkins, who gave the ball away initially, was probably determined to try and win it back. Kennedy with the free kick. Johnston with a touch. Gives Lee some room in which to work. And Rush. He was jumping against Macari. And for all his gallant efforts, he's in unfamiliar territory. Ian Rush coming in beyond the far post. Headed just wide. .25 minutes remaining. Stapleton. The 1-2 with Koppel. Then Wilkins. They've left Muren. Well, the unlucky player was Norman Whiteside. Liverpool may well rue in this game the number of times that they left Arnold Muren unattended. He was able to volley the ball back into the middle here for Whiteside to flick at it. United supporters not appreciating this. Liverpool with Dalglish. And then Whelan. Just when it looked as though Liverpool were meandering through midfield, off darted Dalglish to take up a position that Souness found with great accuracy with the pass, and only Bailey's body stopped Liverpool taking the lead. Liverpool applying the pressure, squeezing in on the man in possession and going forward themselves. Here's McQueen, who enjoys the forward sortie. Augustin, well, he did the job for Liverpool. This is Johnston. Bailey touched it. Craig Johnston will remember well the goal that won the match here last April. He's looking to emulate that feat, stopped by Bailey's fingertips. Dalglish with the corner. Whelan and Johnston, the Liverpool players who are jumping. Neil. Johnston trying to turn Orbiston. And ran out of room. Souness. And United asking Bailey to kick again. And that is painful on the right leg. Macari. On from Stapleton. Koppel chases. Two in the middle for United. Whiteside! And that is a missed opportunity they will look back on. This time, thanks to Stapleton's guided header, Koppel was able to get in across to good effect. Whiteside was in the right position but couldn't finish. Approaching the final minute. Whiteside drilling the pass for Orbiston. Muren. It's a corner. Much of football willing Manchester United to make this corner count, to perhaps open up the title race. Taken by Muren, and it was Macari. Well, United can look back on the injury that saw them lose Kevin Moran and forced them to a reorganisation. Here's Dalglish. The rush. Moses came away with the ball. Into injury time. And McQueen. It was a despairing last attempt, but Liverpool thoroughly deserved their draw, and it's a draw that will satisfy them too, and only leaves Manchester United with a sense of missed opportunity, particularly Norman Whiteside, with a chance that came his way in the last phase of the game. There's still a third of the season to go, but it's a result that does nothing to shake the belief that the league title will remain at Anfield. A final score at Old Trafford, it's Manchester United 1, Liverpool 1.
One apiece, the result then. Norman very, very close at the end to getting a winner. We'll chat to you. Of course, we'll chat to you, Arthur, as well. Looking back at that game, Liverpool, by the way, went on to win the league. See you shortly. It's the Football League files. We've seen Manchester United and Liverpool draw one apiece at Old Trafford in February 1983. I think it's fair to say, Norman, that United felt they had to win that one to prevent Liverpool retaining their title.
Yes, well, they've eluded us for many, many years, so it was the Holy Grail, really. Everybody here, you know, wanted to get one over, not just on Liverpool, to get our hands on the trophy. And, you know, obviously it took so many years after that. But
it's really interesting when you guys come in and we show you the footage. And it's almost like a fresh game for you. Very few of you retain too many memories.
Well, that's right, yeah, but I think once you see the game, some of the incidents, right, it starts coming back, yeah. As Norman said, it was a game that we really had to win to put a bit more pressure on them, and they'd have been delighted getting off Old Trafford with a 1-1 draw.
And we had the sight of Lou Macari, who sat on that substitutes bench, I think it was 24 times I heard in that commentary, coming on because Kevin Moran comes off, playing at right back. And actually knocking a really, really good through ball through that resulted in the goal.
Just had a look up there, played a fantastic ball. And Remy getting forward. And then Frank's just having a little...
Great little ball in there from Remy. And again, winning it. And to be fair to Arnley, he's got a bit of work to do to get it in.
But Muren's left foot, I mean, which he started off, people first became aware of it at Ipswich. I mean, it was a very, very powerful weapon, that left foot.
Very much so. I played on the left-hand side with him, and every pass was just beautifully weighted. But for that goal, there was 2 or 3 lads on the line, so probably the only place he could score was getting it high, and slotted it away great.
I always say Jim Arnold Muren could open a tin of peas with his left foot. He was that good. He really was, wasn't he? His passing ability was fantastic.
It's a bit of a surprise he didn't perhaps get more goals for you guys.
Yeah, I was sent to Arthur earlier, actually. Arthur's Mr. Stato at the club. So I was asking Arthur, I says, Arthur, did Arnold ever score from a free kick? And Arthur remembers him scoring one at Old Trafford, but I don't remember. But we bought Arnold hoping that he was a free kick specialist, and I don't seem to remember him scoring too many from the free kicks.
It must be so upsetting, really. You get ahead against the champions, you need to keep your foot on their throat, and then within 5 minutes that they're level, with Dalglish finishing beautifully, and you've let them straight back in the game. That must have really annoyed you guys.
We needed to really retain the ball for a few minutes and just take the sting out of it after going 1-0 up, which is obviously hard enough. But then within 3 or 4 minutes, they've obviously come back and equalised right away.
Typical Liverpool move, though. I mean, it's great layoff there, and then Dalglish doesn't miss from there. I mean, what a player Kenny Dalglish was. I mean, you can't take it away from him. Absolute world class, I thought. There's
just certainty here. Opens his body, doesn't he?
Great layoff, cushioned just perfectly for him to hit. He doesn't have to break his stride, Kenny, and from that range, he's not going to miss. And slots it away in the corner, unfortunately.
And a little bit later on, we're looking at Gary Bailey in goal, who's we've seen have some great games on the Football League files. And there's an incident again that sums up again the difference between then and now. In that now it probably would have been a red card offence. Then it's like on you go, you're fine.
Well, there's a high boot goes in on him there. That might have been a free kick, but he does handball it outside the area. And like you say, the ref's 2 yards away. So nowadays, he's got a chance of getting a red card and get sent off, but fortunately for us, they didn't give a free kick.
I'm surprised Gary went for that. He maybe put his hair out of place a little bit. You know what I mean?
But again, it was just a different time, and it was give and take. And these days, the players would have been around the referee, complaining, waving a card, saying it should be a penalty, should be whatever. Just get on with it.
You don't see in those games, you don't see many yellow and red cards. I mean, it was just typically they used to say a man's game, and you know, and all you used to do was go out, and whoever you were playing against, that was the battle. You know, you're playing a team game, but that one against one, in my case, a defender. You know, you wanted to win that battle, and you know, I wasn't going to lie down easy.
Just going back to Lou Macari, you must have been aware of his frustrations that he couldn't actually break into the side. Only one sub in those days, and he spent so many matches sitting on the bench.
Yeah, would have been frustrating for Lou. Obviously, Ron kept him involved, and he'd been at the club probably the best part of 10 years, 11 years up to then. But Kevin gets a bad one. We've only got one sub, so Lou comes on. They stick him at right back, and the pass he put through for the goal, Gary Neville would have been delighted with that ball. So it's a fantastic ball through. And Remy, as I said, great little ball in there, 10 yards, and Remy goes and wins it again. And now Arnie's got a bit to do, but he just takes his time, didn't panic, took control of it, and made sure he got it in. But a great ball from Lou, fantastic pass.
And going back to Kevin Moran there, who was carried off, I think Martin Tyler said his leg was grotesquely gashed, which is probably just a scratch to Kevin, to be quite honest. But not wearing shin pads that day, because they were not compulsory.
That actually surprised me, that. I mean, I always wore shin pads, but I didn't know that fact with Kevin. But I wish I had a quid for every stitch Kevin had anyway on his body.
How about you and shin pads? Did you always wear them?
Always. Oh, these strikers, some of these strikers leave their foot in, Jim. You know what I mean? When you're clearing the ball, they just run the studs down your leg. But I played against a guy, Dave Thomas, that played for QPR and Everton, played for England.
Socks rolled down.
Socks rolled down at the kick-off all the time, whereas obviously nowadays, the UEFA officials would be going berserk, really. You've got to have your socks up, shin pads, everything, so can't do it nowadays. Just another little change.
It's a yellow card offence these days if you're actually found without shin pads. And what about your overall performance in this one? I think we said just after the match, you had a couple of chances you could possibly have won it. You were in the thick of things, Norman.
Yeah, they could have picked a better game to bring me on and show, couldn't they? But yeah, I had a couple of chances.
Here.
Yeah, here I'm a bit disappointed. I hit the target.
And you hit the goalkeeper as well, but don't worry too much.
Don't worry. I should have tucked it down the side, really, but I hit it. I went for power, and then I sort of caught. It was a fair tackle because his head's still on his shoulders, isn't it? But, to be fair. But a couple of chances, and then I just tried the little
That's
back
not a
heel.
bad little back heel from where I'm sitting.
Yes, so it was a bit of a Chicharito one. He scored a few like that, hasn't he? So
Only misses by inches, really.
a little bit unlucky there. And then this one I should have done better. I should have hit the target, and it obviously came to me a bit quick. Just a little bit. Should have hit the target, really.
In fairness to you, that it did fly at you quite rapidly. But again, that instant with you and Grobbelaar wind the clock forward to now. I mean, that's almost an assault now.
I would have got 2 red cards, I think, something like that. Yeah, it doesn't happen in today's game. You don't see that. I mean, you seen afterwards, Bruce got up and he just give you a little tap, and so there was no malice in it. It was just you went for the ball.
Can you draw comparisons between now and then when you see incidents like that?
Totally different, isn't it? Norman would have been walking up the tunnel, and he'd probably been in court on the Monday morning and everything, and they'd been full of it in the papers. But as Norman said, Grobbelaar actually very brave, goes down, has to hold it, and the ball's there to be won. But he gets up, and they both sort of tap each other on. Well, Bruce taps him on the back and said, has a bit of a smile.
You had that great FA Cup victory against Brighton that year, but how disappointing was it that the title that everybody wanted you slipped away? I think even Watford finished ahead of you that year. You finished 3rd.
Well, that's an elusive one. It was like we just couldn't quite get over the line. We dropped so many points against your Coventrys, your Luton Towns, teams that you should really be beating. We did very well against obviously the big sides, but you've got to pick up points in the sort of mundane games, if you like. And I think over the years when I played, that was a downfall, really.
Was it a burden for you, that league title thing hanging over you? You've got to win the title.
It was always there, Jim. It was always mentioned in the press and the media, you know, and by other people. But not really. You would think you go out, you know what job you've got to do, and you know, obviously you want to win the title. But coming third, I think we weren't out of the top 4 on the big run in the 80s. So you know, but we just never got to the top, which was a bit disappointing, really.
There we go. Not disappointing having you guys on the show tonight. Thank you very much indeed, Norman. Thank you very much,
Pleasure.
Arthur. And that is it from another Football League Files. We'll see you next time. Cheers.